Isn't it great when you can make millions off of music and then go after the blue-collar money? Cue the music. Hey, this is UFO report number 58. It's Tuesday, 10/17. And that little intro blurb has to do with Tom DeLonge. And if you're not under a rock somewhere, curled up, still recovering from your New Year's party, you know that Mr. DeLonge has did his little thing regarding UFOs and ufology or UAPs. And he's asking for investors to help him do it. This is coming from someone who said he had some big news for everybody. He's got all these documents, these interviews, all these things he wants to share, but yet none of that showed up. But he wants you and I to fund him in his academy just so that, so that he can hide the answers later on and use it for himself. I'm not with it, but some of you are gung-ho, head over heels over this idea. But like everything else, we have to wait and see, right? Is he going to pull a fast one on everyone? Only time will tell. However, his announcement came at a very timely moment in UFO Buster Radio history because the poll for the Rubber Dickies was opened on Sunday. We will be taking votes on UFOBusterRadio.com until December 15th. And on the 16th, we will announce the 2017 winner of the Rubber Dickies. Only the Rubber Dicker with the most votes will win this coveted award. And just so that you know who's in the lineup, we have Stan Romanek, Tom DeLonge, of course he's on there, and probably mostly because of what he announced. So he got nominated because people just saw him as a money-hungry, fake hoaxer ufologist. And, he got added to the list. Jaime Maussan, we know him. He is involved with most of the hoaxes around the world over the last, 5-6 years. We have NASA because they're constantly hiding information and serving us some fake stuff just to derail us from the scent of what is true. Igor Asherbelly. Mr. Asherbelly, the rich man from Europe, who wants to start the first space nation. He's in there again. What is it with these rich guys needing our money in order to figure this out? This makes no sense to me. No sense whatsoever. Stephen Greer, the ex-doctor, also now famed ufologist / reptilian. He's in the list. MUFON was added because of the fact that they have a new thing with secret space programs, and they invited the next person onto their symposium this year, Corey Goode. He also made the list. Apparently he's a fellow Dallas citizen, and he is 4.2 far, just like the other 7 entities on this list. So do me a favor. You can go on UFOBusterRadio.com. It is just a regular poll you see anywhere. No special things. You're not going to be, sent over to another page to do other stuff. You do it right there. You hit submit, you vote, you're done. Now, the cool thing is, because we have 8 of them, these are the 8 of the best hoaxers that you guys nominated, basically. But to leave no one out and make it a good race for the top 3, you can pick up to 3 of these 8 when you submit your vote. So you pick 1, 2, and 3, hit vote, and your vote will be registered for those 3. The winner will be the one individual with the most votes. And I'm in the process now of getting someone to design the 2017 Rubber Dickie. And I want to say that right now we do have someone in the lead. But the only way you're going to know who that is by going to UFOBusterRadio.com, voting, and then the results will pop up for you. You can do this through your cell phone or computer. Good luck.
This is Mr. Wong. From the Day in the Morning Show, you're listening to the UFO Buster Radio with Manny and Big O. You sit down, you listen, or you see them little green men. I gotta go. See ya. Bye-bye.
So the next two stories that we have for today have been making their rounds all over social media, all over the news, and one of them just keeps on regurgitating like, some bad tacos or something like that. The first one is from Miami, Florida, and you've seen this already, I'm sure you have, or if you haven't, guess what? You're about to hear about it. But there is a congresswoman who is pretty much throwing her hat in the ring for a soon-to-be vacated Republican representative spot. Her name is Bettina Rodriguez Aguilera. And according to her, she made a claim that she was aboard a spaceship. On the spaceship was 3 blonde, big-bodied beings, 2 female, 1 male, and they visited her when she was 7 years old. They communicated with her telepathically. And this happened several times over her life. Unfortunately for her, in politics this day and age, if you're a Republican, you don't want things like this in your history. And luckily for her, all of her claims were recorded on YouTube. So if you don't know Spanish and you only know English, I invite you to go to YouTube, search for her name. You will see her interview from 7 years ago where she made this claim on a Spanish television show. And it's in Spanish, but if you hit closed caption, you can select English on YouTube, and you can read about it. So Bettina right now, she's 59, and like I said, she's trying to replace a Miami Republican representative by the name of Ileana Ros-Lehtinen, and she recounted her experience back in 2009. Sadly for her, I guess she had no idea that this could probably end your political career. And listen, I'll be surprised. I will be surprised if she gets the job, if they vote her in, because I don't see it happening. But I want to watch this. I want to keep an eye on it. I want to know if she does it. I mean, if she does it, what does that mean, really? I mean, we know what it means if she doesn't get in, because everyone's going to think of her as a crazy lunatic because she made this claim. But what does it mean for us? The folks listening to UFO Buster Radio, the folks that listen to any kind of UFO podcasts, watch documentaries, look at videos, what does it mean for you if this lady, this Miami Republican, actually wins that seat? It's going to be interesting. We'll see if she pulls it off. Now, some things that you have not heard in many of the other broadcasts about this particular incident is some of the things she said that these tall blonde aliens actually shared with her. So for some of you, this will be fascinating. So these are some of the things that they shared with her in their many visits to go chill out in Miami. Number one is that there are 30,000 skulls from different humans in a cave in the Mediterranean on the island of Malta. Another is that the world's energy center is in Africa. The Coral Castle, a limestone tourist attraction in South Miami-Dade, is actually an ancient Egyptian pyramid. I've seen this thing. I don't think so. I think they lied to her bigly. Another thing is that God is a universal energy. Some of you might share that perspective, right? Another interesting fact that was shared with her, which she really didn't expand on, is that the aliens had mentioned to her ISIS, though she couldn't clarify for people whether or not this was the current terrorist organization that we all hate, or the Egyptian goddess. Either way, listen, Miami is no stranger to UFOs and people being abducted and all that other good stuff. But like I said, what's going to be fascinating is whether or not this woman gets that job. I'll keep you posted. The link to the full article is in the description. Check it out. And if you're feeling froggy and you learned Spanish in 2nd grade, check out the video too.
Coming to you from the hills of Texas right here, UFO Buster Radio is now on the air. You can visit Manny and Big O at UFOBusterRadio.com. That's right, this is Bubba Doohickey saying, boys, squeal like a pig. Oink, oink, oink.
So the next story really won't go away, and it has to do with NASA and this particular planet or celestial body that's outside of the Kuiper Belt. We've talked about this before more than once. Actually, if you look around, this continues to come up at least once or twice a month. We get stories regarding Planet 9, Planet X, Nibiru, and basically what it all means and why people are starting to kind of throw NASA into the mix. So there's an article that says, is there another world on the edge of our solar system? NASA says it is likely mysterious Planet 9, and it does exist. And this article actually cites evidence from NASA relating to why they believe there is something massive out there beyond Pluto, somewhere beyond the Kuiper Belt. So in 2016, researchers examined orbits of 6 different objects that were in the Kuiper Belt. The Kuiper Belt, goes from like Neptune all the way out to 4.2 far. What they noticed is that the objects had an elliptical orbit that all pointed in the same direction, meaning they weren't just going all over the place, they were all pointed at the end of the elliptical orbit in one direction. These same orbits were all tilted 30 degrees downward compared to the plane of the solar system and all the 8 planets and the sun. So basically, something by way of gravitation is pushing these objects completely away from that orbital plane for the solar system, and it's also impacting their orbit. So the researchers say that this can only happen by there being a significant mass somewhere out there beyond Neptune, and they're estimating that the orbit is so huge that it may take between 10 and 20,000 years to make a single pass around the sun. But this is, from NASA's perspective, what they've coined as Planet 9. But there are other names that are being used for other reasons. One is Planet X. The idea of Planet X actually came from Nancy Leiter. Nancy was a Wisconsin woman who claimed that as a girl, she was contacted by gray extraterrestrials called Zetas. They implanted a communication device in her brain, and in 1995, she founded the Zeta Talk website to disseminate, the ideas that she was getting from these guys. Now, we know Zeta Reticuli. Aaron, if you're listening, Nancy Leiter, she is a point of interest in that discussion when it comes to Zeta Reticuli. But in the information that she disseminated, she also coined the phrase as Planet X. But it didn't stop there, because while she coined Planet X, Zecharia Sitchin coined the term Nibiru in his book, The 12th Planet. According to Sitchin, Babylonian religious texts actually state that a giant planet called Nibiru or Marduk passes by the Earth every 3,600 years and allows its sentient inhabitants to interact with humanity. According to Sitchin, these beings that are on Nibiru are known as the Anunnaki, which people refer to as the first gods of humanity, if you partake in the Sumerian myth. Other people say that Nibiru is the home of the fallen angels, the ones that decided to come down and get busy with man and had to get the hell out of town. So the NASA aspect to this conversation, is it evidence that one of these two theories regarding either Planet X or Nibiru may be correct? Or is it that people in Samaria might have seen a glimpse of Planet X way back when? Or, from their perspective, Nibiru? It's hard to say. But apparently there's a shitload of years ahead of us before we'll even find out, and we'll be dead as doornails before any have-God people come down and start taking our women. So, with that said, this is the end of the episode. Be sure to log into UFOBusterRadio.com. Oh yeah, you don't gotta log in, I'm sorry. Be sure to visit UFOBusterRadio.com by PC or cell phone or tablet and vote. Vote for this year's numero uno rubber dicker. And if you didn't know, now you know. This is UFO Buster Radio, and they hate us 'cause they ain't us. Ciao.